Hello, everybody. This is the Library Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. I am Daniel, and I am here to have a conversation with... Hi, my name is Chris. My sign name is this. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you. And thank you for coming. I would like to begin asking you some questions related to your childhood, your experiences. So what do you identify as? Yes, I am deaf and as transgender as well. Transgender as well. Okay. We're going to start with your deaf identity. Can you describe your family and schooling experience, siblings, and so forth? I come from a deaf family. My parents are deaf. I have one deaf brother as well. I am also third generation deaf. I have deaf grandparents, a deaf grandmother, and deaf grandfather. So, your parents are deaf, and your brother is deaf as well, and you're third generation deaf. Wow. As you were growing up, what was the first thing you learned? Was it more of a visual thing, or sign-based, or picture-based? I believe it was picture-based. I didn't really pick up signs. Well, I did do some normal baby signs, but starting to have conversations, it wasn't until 2 or 3. Oh, I had a similar experience. I didn't have my first sign until I was 2, and that was milk. Very interesting. So in elementary school, were you the only deaf person there, or do you have other deaf students around you? I believe in elementary school, I was the first deaf child to enter the school. The system didn't provide me an IEP nor an interpreter. My parents had to fight very hard to get me an IEP and interpreting services for me so I could progress with my education as a normal child would. Wow. In middle school, what was it like? Well, I had an interpreter in middle school for the 3 years that I was there. And in high school, I also had an interpreter. Okay, so throughout your school, you had an interpreter. Well, you're very lucky because I didn't have an interpreter from 3 till 12. It was very frustrating for me to go through that and quite a challenge. So it's good that you were able to learn as much as you could through that. So, outside of school, did you socialize with family and friends? Yes, I had some deaf friends that I would meet some deaf people, such as at DNO, Deaf Night Out, or a career fair that the Nashville Library Services Deaf and Hard of Hearing would host, and at deaf camps as well. So I did socialize with some deaf kids. And we would go, my family would take me to Deaf Night Out and to deaf picnics, or family friends who had little parties, and we would have little conversations there. So from elementary to high school, you did feel quite isolated. You didn't have others to sign with, correct? Yes. In elementary school, it wasn't a big deal as I was pretty clueless about what was going on. I interacted with kids. But when it came to middle school, I started to notice bullying occurring because I was the only deaf child there. In high school, there was a little bit of bullying there too because I was the only friend I had was the interpreter. So we'd have short conversations and little jokes, but not with anybody else. It was quite isolating, very isolating. So when you're out of school, did socializing with the deaf help you to acquire the language more? Yes. When I would hang out with some deaf, my ESL conversational skills and language did take off. I would learn new words, and it would surprise me. I would learn all of these words. I'll start signing with them. So you picked it up as you went along. They would show you a picture of something and then tell you the sign, whereas maybe the school interpreter didn't expand on it very much. Well, I didn't know the full intent of a sign or the true meaning and the depth of the sign, so they would go into it more for me. The community members would. Oh, very neat. So now let's go and talk about your transgender. So when did you first identify? Yes, when I was about 5, I felt something different. My grandmother would keep telling me stories that when I would babysit you, you would always run around the house, take off your shirt, and scream that you're a boy. And so that was quite different. And when I came out in high school as a lesbian, I did feel that something was quite not right. It wasn't me. And people would call me lesbian. It didn't fit. It didn't feel right inside. And then when I started feeling more comfortable, I came out as transgendered when I was 23. And I started my physical transition at that time. And I started taking hormones. I changed my name. And I changed my pronouns. My friends with the deaf individuals, they would call me by what I preferred, by what I'd be called. And they were very respectful. When did your grandmother let you know about that story? Was it after you had came out? No, it was before I came out as transgendered. It was maybe when I was 15 or 16 she told me that. Oh. And how does your family take it? How did they take it? My grandmother was the most accepting of them all. My father was a little confused because I don't think transition or transgender issues were very prevalent in the deaf community, so there's misconceptions about that. My mother, she took it the hardest because I was her firstborn. She wanted me to follow in her footsteps, of course, but I wanted to make my own path. After a while, my mother became very accepting, and now she's an amazing mother. How about your brother? My brother accepts me who I am. He likes me as a brother and not as a sister. Oh, that's really cool. Did you have anybody supporting you through this process of this physical transition, your name and so forth? I did have some girlfriends who I thought were supporting me at first, but really behind the scenes they weren't. So I had to go through it myself, deal with it myself, go to the doctor, therapist, and so forth, and get the medication that I needed for this. Do you mind explaining what transgendered means? A lot of individuals out there might not understand it fully. Yes, to me, what I think a transgender identity means how I view myself in my mind doesn't fit in my sexual genitalia. It just doesn't fit. So when I come out as transgender, I can go ahead and begin a physical transition or not. It depends on what you're comfortable with. But with me, I had to change my body to fit what I thought about myself. And that's what transgender means to me. My mind, what I thought about myself doesn't fit my body. So as you're transitioning, so your mind and body would start to change, and you felt like things were coming together. Was that correct? Yes, when I was doing my physical journey, my transition, it was a little confusing at first. It wasn't going the way I wanted it to, but after about a year of being on the hormones, I really came to be surprised that this is who I am supposed to be. It made my self-esteem skyrocket. I had more confidence in myself, and whereas before I was very shy, very anxious to meet new people, and now I can get along with people, meet new people anytime I want. I can go out into the world and expose myself to everybody and not be afraid. Before you did this transition, did you speak with doctors about expectations and maybe things didn't go the way you expected it? And how did it make you feel better about this? During all this time, did you have an interpreter? No, I didn't have an interpreter because I could speak for myself and I could hear a little bit. I felt like, Some interpreters, they might want to give me unsolicited advice or information, and I really wasn't going to feel comfortable with that. Presently, do you have hearing aids and you can speak for yourself? You can hear a little bit, right? Yes. Well, what's the difference between sexual orientation and gender identity? Can you explain a little bit about that? Yes, gender identity means that you feel comfortable and identify as a male or female, or non-binary. Sexual orientation, well, that means you are attracted to one sex or maybe both sexes as a bisexual, lesbian, gay. Those are sexual orientations. But gender identity means you identify as a male or female or non-binary. Okay. Some individuals, they might not know about the correct terminology, sexual orientation or sexual preference. And what do you think about those terms? Orientation, in my opinion, is something you pick. Well, no, not what you pick, but what you're attracted to. Like you have no choice, but you're attracted to this way or that way. Preference means you can pick or choose. Those are totally different concepts. Yes. Sexual orientation, it's like you can't choose. You can't help who you can choose, who you are attracted to. Right. So what's the most common misconception out there about transgender? Oh, yeah. Some people think transgender, it's the same meaning as a transsexual. And it's not, because transsexuals, they're like a cross-dresser, but transgender is where you do change your gender identity. So you're not a female anymore. You become a male, F to M or M to F. Well, is there any more you'd like to explain about that? Well, I can't think of anything. Well, that's fine. So what's your advice for parents who are faced with the choice of a child who might go this path? Well, for parents, I would say let them choose their identity. Let them be who they want to be. You don't have to do medical intervention at the moment. Just let them dress in the way they identify, the way they feel comfortable. You don't have to reprimand them, force them to coincide with gender norms or societal norms. We don't need to force them. Just let them do what would make them happy. Okay. Well, what's your advice for people who themselves might feel controlled by their parents or friends, and if they would like to pursue this transition, what would you say? Well, I did have some of those issues in the past, and my advice is just be yourself. Make yourself happy. You're not living your life for them. You're living your life for yourself. If you're feeling intimidated by your parents that they might not accept, you're feeling afraid, well, my advice is if you just want to go into physical transformation, I would wait till you're 18 so that way your parents can't control you. But if you would like to begin in a more comfortable route, you could start wearing clothing that identifies with what you think of yourself. Like if you feel like a male, dress like a male. And get the feel of it. See how you like it. Right. Life is so short. We can't live for everybody else. We got to do what makes us happy. That is so important. That's right. Well, thank you for coming. Of course. And thank you so much. And thank you. Thank you for watching us, Library Services for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Thank you. Bye.